a shame, 66%. Welcome back to Monday's show with me, Kay Adams, in for Matthew. With me are Amanda Lamb, Jeremy Edwards and special guest Sophia Miles. Still to come this morning, should supermarkets be telling you what to buy to lead a healthier lifestyle? They know what millions of us are buying through their loyalty card schemes, so how would you feel about a letter pointing out that you've been buying too many pizzas and not enough fresh veg? Would it make you change your ways? Maybe it's a better way to use the information than just targeting us with marketing. 0207 173 5555 is the number if you've got something to share. Yeah, but first, is it time to chuck the chuggers? So-called charity mugging, or chugging, has been in the papers over the weekend, with the Sunday Telegraph claiming to have uncovered their secret tactics. Well, the tactics of one company, like intimidating members of the public, particularly the elderly, failing to disclose how much of their campaigning costs that the charity actually gets. 1 in 7 councils wants the ban from our high streets, with Burnley, Cheltenham and several others limiting the number of days that they can be out on the streets. 2/3 of us there would cross the street to avoid them. So have they had their day? Should they have had their day? Sophia, chuggers, would you cross the street to avoid them?
Oh, yeah, and I'd put my head down and put a phone to my ear and pretend I was having a conversation. Yeah, no.
All the tactics, yeah.
But we were just talking in the break. I mean, it's an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because there's so many cuts within charities that, within their funding, that maybe sometimes, and this is why they're having to resort to this, and that's what's sad about it. But
well, I think charity giving was down 10% last year. I think that's the figure that we have. So charities are really squealing for funds, and presumably this must work for them. They wouldn't do it unless it worked for them. Jeremy, are you feeling any more
I suppose, you know
now?
what, apparently it does work, it does help raise funds, but they're really annoying, aren't they? I mean, really annoying.
It is for good cause.
It is for good cause. I mean, I donate to a charity every month because that's what I decide to do, which is actually a really good defence for chuggers. Because then if you say, I already have a standing order, a direct debit, then they will leave you alone because you've already been... But I just find them really annoying. It's also... I don't know if they're all drama school kids or whatever, but they're really loud and really like, hey, and they get in your way, and it's pretty obvious you don't want to talk to them, and they still will walk backwards down the street for about 20 metres.
No, they're not. They're not supposed
you end up being really rude. It brings out all the badness from me.
Does it?
I don't like it.
Go on, give us a
I can't say it on live television, but I get very angry. I end up telling them where to go and what they can do with their charity.
Oh, you're very...
It doesn't make me feel very charitable because it's the people. It's not the concept. I think it's really good. They have to raise funds. I understand that. I understand that they get paid as well, and I don't really have a problem with that because people should get paid and they've got to earn a crust. It's just the people they employ. They drive me insane.
Oh, it makes you very masterful. It must make you angry more often, Jeremy.
Oh.
But, you know, it's funny. I spoke to a guy about this recently. We were just having a chat, and he had a completely different take on it. He said, you know, all of us who say, you know, I'm busy and they really annoy me and can't you leave me alone, should chill out a little bit. You know, why are we really so... Can't we just take 2 or 3 minutes in the day to communicate with somebody, to talk about something? I'm really trying here to sell it to you. You know, talk about something that's important in the world, more important than our little lives, and getting to Marks and Spencer's for a sandwich. Am I appealing to you, Amanda?
No, you're not.
Oh, right,
I think most of our high streets now, it's become like chugging pinball, because you start at one end and you're like, there's one, cross over, there's another one, cross over, and you literally sort of do that up the high street. What I don't
should we look at our hearts, Amanda?
Yeah,
why are we doing that?
I give to certain charities that are close to my heart, and if one of my friends is climbing a mountain or sitting in a tub of baked beans for a while, then I will give money to that. But what I find actually happens with me is it's reverse psychology. I'll see that charity and think, I'm not giving you money now. And that, I think, is... They've started coming to my doorstep. Has anyone had that yet?
No.
Yeah. Well, I think that's different, isn't it, from... I mean, chuggers are the people who stop you in the street.
Chuggers are the people... But I've literally had, in the last month, I had a guy the other day who actually got quite aggressive. He knocked on the door and he was raised... It was Scope, the cerebral palsy charity, and he said, hello, have you got a few minutes to talk about cerebral palsy? And I said... No, and I know a lot about cerebral palsy. My goddaughter has it. "Oh, right, well, I'm not trying to get any money out of you." I said, "Yes, you are. That's why you've got that clipboard." And then he just turned on me when he knew I wasn't going to eat. "All right, love, I'm trying to make a living here." And he just suddenly got really aggressive. And I just said, "Look, I'm really sorry. Will you please get off my doorstep and shut the door on him?" And I just don't... I respond better to TV commercials and things like that. And I think if you're going to look at... If you imagine the amount of chuggers they've got up and down the country, you're better off doing a TV commercial than just being bombarded with their ridiculous clipboards.
Has anyone ever signed up in the street to anything?
I literally, when it first started, because I was about to say it's had its day, when they first came onto the scene, they got me 4 or 5 times. Breast cancer,
Really?
scope, because I was like, oh, yeah, here you go, look how good I feel. But then I got to the point where I was like, this is just too much.
I mean, that is one of the concerns, you know, particularly maybe with elderly people, that they might have a bit more time in their hands, some people, and so they do have stop and have a chat with the nice drama school kid who's very chatty and all the rest of it, and sign up to direct debit and maybe 2 or 3, and don't necessarily, you know, monitor their bank details, and actually over a period of time it kind of mounts up. And
I think what will be
real concern over
interesting to
that.
see is how many people sign up for it and then cancel the direct debit within a month or within... It would be interesting for the charities to look at where they get the most income from. Is it from the chuggers? Is it from TV ads? Is it from...
Yeah, I think from a charity point of view, the PR side of it is definitely something they need to get. There are a few charities that have decided not to go down this road because they do feel that there is a kind of public feeling against them, and they don't want to be associated with it. And I mean, this Sunday Telegraph investigation, the company that they were looking at was doing some work for a number of charities, including Marie Curie, which is a very well-regarded charity, but because it's kind of remote, because they're employing a company to do it for them, they don't necessarily know what exactly their tactics are. But the potential is that they can get...
And also, I don't know, but you've got to question what percentage of your money is going to the charity and what's going to the distribution company who's employing these people. There's going to be people making a hefty profit here somewhere. So by going through this, the charity could be losing out, as in you're not getting the 100% of the money that you're signing up for, because obviously these people have got to be paid for.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, in terms of
the
Telegraph investigation, I mean, it is supposed to be part of any charity mugger, any chuggers sort of spiel, is to tell you how much of the money goes to the charity and how much the actual campaign is costing. But surprise, surprise, they found that people weren't coming up with... But I mean, who would? I mean, if you were in that position and you're trying to persuade somebody to sign up for direct debit, you're not going to, are you?
They've had their day. I really think they've had their day. I think they were very successful at the beginning, and I think because it was something new and people hadn't sort of seen it before. But now, you say 2/3 of us are avoiding them. Give it another 6 months, another year. There surely must come a point where they're knocking on the head. Well, they have, because they've started knocking on doors now. And I get phone calls. I had a phone call from the Red Cross the other day. Yes, what? Hello? And then we just wondered if you've heard about the situation. Yes, I've heard about it.
So how do you
bullying?
It's bullying. Because you signed up so many times. Now your information... And they go, right, she's a mug, we'll pass her information to everyone else, they'll have a go.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you decide who to give your money to a charity, Whiten?
Mine are things that are close to my heart. So, you know, I have a goddaughter with cerebral palsy. My brother has mental health issues. So I tend to give my money to places like Mind and Scope and charities that mean something to me. Or if one of my friends is raising money for a charity that means something to them, I will give money. But I have my set ones that I tend to give.
What about tin rattlers? Do you go for them?
Occasionally. Occasionally, yeah, I find them less offensive, and I'll tell you why. It is because it's just that thing, like I was saying before, them following you down the street, walking back, and and trying to be overly charming, and it's just annoying, a bit too in your face. You know what I mean? Somebody stood there, and they're just saying, they don't tend to follow you. They tend to stand stationary, and you walk past, and you go, actually, yeah, I'm feeling. I'll give them a quid or a couple of quid or whatever you may have, and I don't mind that so much. I find that less like oppressive. me up, as you can tell. I'm getting angry.
Yeah, no, he's going again. Very quickly. Kirsty, save me from this rabid dog.
Well,
Is there anyone on the phone?
We have Rachel from the most dangerous city in the world on line 1.
Oh, Rachel, how are you surviving in dangerous old Glasgow?
All right, Kay, I've no idea how I'm surviving. Like, there's just stabbers waiting outside, waiting to get me as soon as I leave the house, you know.
Have you still got the windows barred? You know, you got the bars on?
Well, of course, but I live on the top floor, so I'm a little bit better, you know.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Let's do this quickly, Rachel, in case somebody knocks on your door, because it might be Ross Kemp. You never know, he might want a cup of tea. What do you think? Are you an ex-chugger, am I right?
I'm an ex-street fundraiser, yes.
All right, sorry, I apologise for the terminology.
Yeah, I was a street fundraiser back in the very beginning, actually. It was over 10 years ago now.
Right.
I did it for about 2 years.
2 years?
It was probably one of the most horrific jobs that I've ever done in my life, because I have been assaulted, I have been verbally abused, I've been spat at, I've had bottles chucked at me. I spend my entire day basically having people not only just, you know, say no thank you, but being really, really quite offensive about it, just like yourself, Jeremy. I know you may be quite mad about that.
No, hang on, I'm feeling really guilty now. I'd just like to point out I have never assaulted. Spat at. No, that's not me. No, I don't spit and punch people. No. Certainly not in Glasgow, anyway.
No, but... well,
I don't think people actually realise that these charity muggers